All right, y'all. Come on. This is Narc Abuse No More with your host, Doctor and Evangelist K.O. Rich. How y'all doing on this lovely Tuesday morning? Come on, y'all. Oh, it has been a minute. It has been a minute. I am your host, Doctor and Evangelist K.O. Rich with Narc Abuse No More, where we're here to help you admit what you feel in order to heal from the effects of narcissistic abuse, because your feelings do matter. Yes, they do. But before we go on with today's podcast, I just want to invite you to visit us on our website at www.narcabusenomore.org. Again, that website address is www.narcabusenomore.org. And on the website, you'll find valuable information regarding narcissism, relationships. And if you have missed any of these podcasts, all you have to do is go directly to our website and listen to us from there. Now, just to let you know, there's not a regular schedule with this podcast, so you definitely want to put us in your favorites. It's no longer every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. It's just impromptu. So I may do it on a Tuesday, I may do it on a Thursday, I may do it on a Sunday. You just never know. But if you put this podcast in your favorites, it will always alert you, whatever platform you're listening to us from. You can always be alerted as to whenever I post new content. All right. So one of the things that we're doing now is we're doing a podcast that's going to be 15 minutes or less, 15 minutes or less. And today we are talking about 20 signs of a controlling partner. Now, we may not get through all the signs, but we want to definitely hit on some key issues. Signs of a controlling partner. Signs of a controlling partner. And one thing that is important for anyone to know if you're in a relationship is you definitely want to be with someone that respects you for who you are, not trying to control, threaten, manipulate, be emotionally manipulative. A lot of times people, when they are controlling, they're doing it because of their own insecurities, and you don't want their insecurities to become yours. So therefore, you definitely want to be able to recognize those toxic relationships before you actually get involved in them. It is so important, regardless of how likable that person may be. They may make you laugh, you may have fun, and those are important things to have in a relationship. However, if you are dealing with someone that is controlling, that someone that berates you, someone that makes ultimatums, threatening you, it is important to recognize that type of behavior. The other day, I was listening to someone that was giving relationship advice, and this is a pastor. However, I was noticing that some of what he was saying it had a tone of controlling. And I was thinking to myself, whoever you would wind up being with, they would actually have to take a back seat, in the sense of, this person, I believe, means well, but they have a controlling demeanor about them. And so this is something that is so important for you to recognize before you get into a relationship. Now, as Christians, we know that the Bible says for wives to submit yourselves to your husbands. And then in the Bible, it also says that husbands love your wives as Christ loved the church. That does not mean control, okay? It doesn't mean that you treat either party, so either party is not to treat the other one with disdain, disrespect, or as a child. Remember that you both are adults, and this is something when you're getting into a relationship that you all want to talk about mutually. But if you're playing games, and let me just say one of the things that was mentioned was, okay, if she wants something or this particular person want you to do something, do just the opposite just to see how they respond. We don't have time to play games, and I'm not for the game playing. If you're adults, you don't have to play games with that person to see, who they are. Allow God to give you spiritual discernment, but leave the games for the boardwalk. Okay. So I want to just give you a few tips, or should I say, a few signs of controlling behavior. Number one of the things that we know that abusers often do is to isolate you from friends and family. They complain about how much time you spend with your family, who you're talking to, who you're going around, and therefore, and it's one thing if these people are causing issues in the relationship, but oftentimes when you're dealing with someone that's controlling, manipulative, or abusive, this person does not want you to have a support system. They do not want you to be around people who are going to basically open your eyes as to the situation, or should I say your reality of being with an abusive person. They don't want anyone that's going to see through them. So therefore they want to separate you from those who would even encourage you or caution you about their bad behavior. So this is something that you may find if you're in a controlling relationship and this person is trying to isolate you from those who support you, who love you, who care about you. That is a tall tale sign. Number two, another thing that they do is they over criticize you about everything. You will find that when you're in an abusive relationship with someone, you will find that they often have something to nitpick about anything that you do. So there's nothing that you can do right. You can't cook right. You can't clean right. You can't whatever it is. They want you to feel as if your self-worth is tied up into what they think and what they think alone. They don't want you to be validated by anyone but themselves. So therefore, it is very difficult for you to even feel loved and accepted by someone when you're in a toxic relationship. Another thing you will find when you're dealing with someone that is controlling, you will find that they will make threats against you and or others. This is a manipulative trick that they do. They will threaten to maybe call your boss, or they will threaten to do harm to you or to your children or even your pets. They will threaten to take away any financial support. They will also threaten to maybe leave if they feel that you're getting out of line. And this is another way to control you. So therefore, expect them to sometimes give those veiled threats or overt threats or whatever against you. Number four, they make the love conditional, they make acceptance of you conditional. I love you if, or if you do this, or if you don't fall in line. So you will always feel like you're walking on eggshells with this person. And this is what I was saying about this pastor who was giving this relationship advice, is that love is supposed to be unconditional. So you don't play games in a relationship. Well, I'm going to do just the opposite, just to see how they respond, or if they're going to follow me, or whatever case may be. We don't have time to play games. So do not allow someone to base their love for you on conditions. If you only do what I say, then I will love you. Number five, if they're keeping a score, or tallying up every little thing that you do, keeping records. In the book of what is it? 1 Corinthians 13, when it talks about love, and one of the things it mentions is love keeps no record of wrong. And so basically, you have someone that's always holding a grudge, someone that expects you to, they have a tick for tat. They demand things in return, and you're always feeling like, I gotta repay this person, or I gotta give back to them, or whatever. It's not something that they've done out of the goodness of their heart, or that you're in this relationship and it's mutually beneficial. It's you always feel like you're owing someone something, and that can be a controlling behavior. Number six, they use guilt as a tool. So they will always guilt you into doing things. Even if you want to spend time with your friends and family, they will guilt you. Oh, you don't spend enough time with me, when you know that you do, or whatever it is. They will try to find some way to guilt you, and that's a controlling type of behavior. Um, Another thing, which piggies back to what we previously talked about, is they always have you feeling like you're in their debt. That's a way to control you. So you would never be in the black when it comes to them. You will always feel like you're in a deficit when you're in a controlling relationship. Number eight, another thing that they do is they will spy, they will snoop into things that is really private, whether it's reading your journal, checking your phone logs, your emails. And let me just say this. If you are doing this and you suspect, well, this person is maybe cheating or whatever, then it's time for you all to reassess and reevaluate that relationship. Because if you cannot trust the person that you with, then you don't really have much of a relationship, do you? So you definitely want to ensure that you are with someone that you trust. And if you feel like you can't trust that person, then there's a problem in that relationship. Number nine, the person is jealous. You have they accuse you of things, so they're accusatory. They have a lot of paranoia. You haven't given them any reason to doubt you, to distrust you, but it's their own insecurities that's causing them to feel this way. All right, so that's another way of controlling. Number 10, they don't respect your alone time. Everyone needs time to be alone, but they don't respect yours. You have to set boundaries. Sometimes you need to be alone just so you can think, just so you can recoup, just so you can be in touch with your own self. But when you're dealing with someone that's controlling, they don't want you to ever be alone without them. Number 11, they make you try to earn their trust. They make you try to earn their relationship. They make you try to earn their friendship. If you are feeling like I have to work my way through this, but they're not actually equally doing it, then it's a one-sided relationship. Number 12, presuming that you're guilty until you prove that you're innocent. It is so important for you to be with someone that there's a mutual trust. And if they accuse you of things until you prove yourself innocent, then that's not a good relationship. That's not a healthy relationship. And that is not a relationship that's going to thrive. All right, let me see here. I'm going to skip down because we're running out of time. One another thing, and I want to just close out with this: they when you're dealing with someone that's controlling, they don't hear you. They don't hear your point of view. They don't want to empathize with your feelings, your needs, your desires, because it's dominated by what only they can see, only what they think. They don't actually want to listen to you. It's all about them and never about you. And so, therefore, you will find yourself even feeling as if you are being swallowed up in a sense where you are not able to breathe in this relationship because the person is so controlling. Let me just say this is that it is important for you to be able to be your genuine self in a relationship. Well, to be with someone who loves you for you, someone that's not going to play games, and someone that's going to be real. And if you are missing those elements in the relationship, then you may need to reassess your standing with that person. All right, we are up out of here. I pray that today's podcast has been a blessing to you and that you will know your feelings do matter. This is Dr. Rich. Until next time.